I'm the most loyal enforcer for a mafia boss. I've got beef with a rival gang's top operative. He stole my target. So I hacked his phone out of spite. Sent him a text to mess with him, sweetheart. Your waist is so soft. Want me to squeeze it again? The response came ice cold. Touch my waist during another mission. And I'll pickle your fingers in liquor. Later. The rival boss himself pinned me against the wall. Still think it's soft? As Ethan, the boss's right-hand man, I'd been staking out a target for 3 days when some bastard intercepted the hit. Turned out to be Liam, the trusted lieutenant of Jacob from the rival syndicate. Burning for payback. I took my crew to ambush him. My guy pointed across the bar. That's Liam, Jacob's attack dog. Miller family's golden boy. My gaze locked onto the figure blending into the shadowy bar corner. The black trench coat couldn't hide his athletic build. A blue data implant glinted in his left earlobe as his skilled fingers worked some device. Lips moving in silent coordination with unseen allies. What's he murmuring? Doesn't matter. I just wanted to kiss that focused expression off his face. While Liam monitored the rapper on stage, hand drifting toward his holstered gun, I tackled him into the velvet booth. Trying to steal another collar? Though broader. My surprise attack gave the rapper time to vanish into the crowd. Let's see him explain that failure to Jacob. But instead of chasing, Liam slowly peeled off his gloves. Eyes darkening. Ethan, you do know what happens to those who cross me? I lit a cigarette. Ash deliberately flicked onto his exposed bronze skin. When my fingers brushed his taut waist, he stiffened. Enjoy stealing my glory, Liam? His brow furrowed. Liam? First come, first served. His voice turned flinty. I broke no rules. That's what burned. If Jacob himself had taken the hit, I'd swallow the loss, no matching that psychopath. But Liam? We're both attack dogs. Why should I roll over? As he tried to leave, I smirked. Game on. Those men are armed. You're just walking in like this? His temper was clearly fraying as he scoffed. Humph. Move. I've got a gun too. I'd been waiting for those exact words. With a snap of my fingers, I declared, consider this a gift. That target earlier had a compact pistol. And now, an underling stepped forward with a tray. Resting on it was the rapper's distinctive small firearm. I'd just brazenly hijacked his operation right under Liam's nose. Liam's face darkened instantly. He muttered something I couldn't catch, probably profanity, before shooting me a glacial glare. We're leaving. The moment Liam exited, my underling scrambled after me. Wait. Ethan. This isn't. I cut him off with a lazy wave of my phone. What? Think I can't outplay him? I'd already hacked Liam's device during the confrontation. By the time he got home, he'd find an indestructible contact haunting his phone, my personal brand of haunting. My smirk sharpened as I watched him across the parking lot, oblivious while being ushered into his car. Relax. We've got all the time in the world. Through his compromised phone, I fired off the first taunt, baby. Your waist is so soft. Can't wait to get my hands on you again. He replied within seconds, touch me again, and you'll lose those hands. Imagining his frustration, wanting me dead yet helpless to act, made my fingers dance across the keyboard. That ass isn't bad either. Got anything bigger to show me? Drop dead. Fuck. I'd messed up. Instead of nabbing our actual target, I'd bagged some irrelevant rapper. These days, even mobsters have quotas to meet. Jacob, the leader of the Miller family, had pressed his pen to my throat last week, threatening to demote me to nightclub performances if I failed again. Though publicly humiliated, I took solace knowing Liam wasn't faring better. Rumor had it Jacob tortured underperformers, literally hung them from rafters. 2 battered souls. Him and I. Timing my message for when Liam's beating from Jacob would have concluded, I typed, truce? Radio silence. Had Jacob broken his spirit? I tried again, our operations overlap. Why fight? Share intel. Split credit. Your psycho boss'll never know. His reply was terse, no. Typical little stickler. Lighting a cigarette through bandaged hands. I typed in the flickering glow, scared Jacob will catch you slacking? The responses remained icy. Each message dripping with disdain. Not happening. I was getting pissed. Typical blockhead. No wonder he became the right-hand man of Jacob. The most notorious psycho in the underworld legend. Same stubborn attitude. Zero flexibility. I typed while holding a cigarette between my teeth. Plenty want this gig if you don't. Miss the big score and don't come crying to your boss later. The screen stayed dead for ages. I doubted Liam even saw it. Giving up on this stone-faced idiot. I started contacting others when my phone lit up again. Jiangqiao area. Rat on the run. The one your boss wants. I snapped my fingers at my crew. Checked the intel. Sure enough. Some sketchy guy matching the description near the bridge. Exhaling smoke. I smirked at the screen. Now we're talking. Holstering my gun. I barked orders, move out. Liam's tip paid off. The traitor looked baffled when we cuffed him. Still wondering how we'd sniffed him out. Dragging the rat to the boss's shooting range. I found the man in his usual billionaire chic bathrobe. Flip-flops. Casually obliterating targets. Only reason I tolerate this clown? At least his fashion disasters don't affect his brains. Boss? He kept shooting. I drew my piece and put a round dead center through the target. He finally glanced over. What? Your end leak. I bowed slightly. Caught him. Water cell. Intel just reached me. His gaze turned icy. You work fast. Lucky streak. Yours now. Unlike Jacob. The boss played reasonable, most times. Me? Not so much. I dismissed everyone and descended into the damp darkness. Two figures chained to the wall, the wrapper I'd snatched from Liam's turf. And today's catch. Both tensed as I lounged on a crate. Crossing my legs. Slap each other. First to spill something useful gets to stop. The rookie rapper sneered. Why would we? My pistol slammed onto the table. The traitor who'd seen my methods flinched. Waiting for applause? The first crack echoed through the chamber. When the rapper retaliated, I leaned back enjoying the show. Left with two valuable leads. Emerging. I texted Liam, tell your boss to take Jiangjiao Bridge tomorrow night. No reply. Probably busy licking Jacob's boots. Not until evening did I send a message. Why? I replied. To turn your boss into fireworks and help you climb the ranks. The other side took about 2 minutes to respond. Thanks. But no need. Liam had somehow developed manners lately. Showing more tact than his previous no. I was just delivering messages to repay a favor. As for decisions, that was Liam's own business. I'd only leaked one crucial piece of intel to Liam. The other involved Jacob. He kept one of his private vaults in the Southern District. I told no one about this. I intended to swallow that fortune whole. Changing into form-fitting black clothes, I slipped into Jacob's warehouse under cover of darkness. I'd seen my share of loot. But never this. Holy shit. 2 seconds inside and I froze mid-step. Damn. Jacob's richer than Midas. Did he rob Fort Knox? How's this legal? But the moment I took another step, alarms blared. No cover except hugging the wall. Jacob's men would swarm within minutes, combing every inch. Though we'd never met. I could imagine my fate if caught, probably have my body parts scattered across 7 continents. That's when I spotted familiar movement nearby. Hope surged as I yanked the figure against the wall. Liam blinked in genuine surprise before his gaze darkened. What are you doing here? Footsteps pounded closer. Desperate. I pulled my gun and pressed it to his ribs. Kiss me. Now. His eyes flicked to my lips. Hesitation lingering. Two guys, what's there to lose? Survival instincts overrode courtesy. I'm not taking advantage. Open up. When he parted his lips slightly, I darted my tongue in for the barest contact. Then Liam suddenly kissed back, fervent. Clumsy. Loud enough to draw attention. Flashlight beams hit us as he pinned me against the wall, his broad frame shielding my face. Boss. The goon recognized Liam instantly. Liam turned with a growl that vibrated through both our chests. Get lost. Unless you want bullets for dessert. Hell. He even sounded convincingly furious. Anyone would think he'd been caught mid-tryst. The intruder scrambled away. I shoved him off, wiping blood from my bitten lip. Are you a rabid animal? Jesus. Did you have to bite so hard? Liam's expression remained calm, his tone sincere. First time kissing someone. My apologies. First time or not. You don't try to suck someone's soul out through their lips. No joke. This man could drain an ocean with that technique. Liam lowered his head, breathing unevenly. Why are you here? Don't you know this is? Obviously I knew. This was the Miller family's secret vault. I'd come for a quick score. But everyone knew Liam was Jacob's attack dog. Telling him my plan would be like slapping Jacob's bare ass during a board meeting. I shrugged. I'm trying to sleep with your boss. That work for you? Liam's eyes darkened. Emotions flickering rapidly across his face, confusion. Resistance. Reluctant acceptance. For a second I thought he might start reciting Buddhist sutras. Finally he cleared his throat. Ahem. Not entirely impossible. I was too busy checking my watch to notice his internal crisis. Shit. I'm running late. I glanced wistfully at the stacks of cash. Rain check. You said, Liam began. Low stamina today. I waved without turning back. Next time. I missed the way the most feared man in the eastern underworld watched me leave, thumb brushing blood from his swollen lip. Next time. Liam murmured. I'll hold you to that. Back home. Visions of money haunted me. At 3 a.m. I texted, can't sleep? No. Came Liam's instant reply. Rich people problems, Jacob with his billions. Liam guarding them. No wonder we're both awake. I typed, you helped me earlier. Ask me anything. No questions. Last chance. 15 minutes later. My phone buzzed. Why does the money tree in Jacob's office keep dying? I snorted. Overwatering. Impossible. I followed the care instructions, you water when the soil's already damp. Roots rot. But the manual said, manuals are written by idiots. Touch the soil. If it sticks to your finger. Wait. 3 dots appeared and disappeared for 10 minutes before Liam replied, noted. I fell asleep imagining the great Liam elbowed deep in potting soil, poking at dirt like it might explode. I ended his confusion, because I watered it. No joke. Jacob bought one plant and I killed it by watering. At first, I didn't understand the boss's thinking, but later realized hating the rich is human nature. So I started enjoying it too. Vicious corporate warfare often unfolds in the simplest ways. The other side simply replied, Surprisingly calm reaction. But wait, What does that even mean? As I puzzled over this, another notification popped up, you're dead. Message recalled, the revised version read, noted. I stared at the screen. Wait, they recalled it too fast. Did something flash by? Couldn't catch it. The second break and went smoother with practice. I gathered my crew and drove to the location. Using some tricks, I cracked the vault lock. The guys worked efficiently, knowing better than to ask questions as they hauled stuff out. I supervised while lighting a cigarette, only to spot someone in the shadows. I moved closer to investigate. But someone else approached the figure and respectfully called out boss. That's when it hit me, that was Jacob. His back turned. He appeared to be doing something to a photograph in the dim light. The picture clearly showed two men kissing. What kind of twisted hobby is this? Disgusting. Incomprehensible. Downright disrespectful. I retreated silently before Jacob noticed. The image of a mafia boss with that photo proved too disturbing. Cutting the operation short, I signaled my crew to evacuate. Back at base, the loot count looked satisfying. An observant underling lit my cigarette. Ethan. Celebratory drinks? I ruffled his hair approvingly. Good kid. We booked a private lounge at the bar. Cognac bottles lay scattered across the floor as everyone got wasted. That's when my guys brought over a waiter. The kid looked decent enough when pouring my drink. But then he spilled liquor all over my pants. Sorry. He panicked, frantically wiping my trousers. I raised my hand to stop him. But the crew started hooting. Ethan. He's not bad. Keep him. The waiter flinched at their laughter but seemed to steel himself, hesitating before slowly continuing the awkward pat down. I closed my eyes briefly before grasping my pant leg again. Ethan. I want to follow you. I sized him up, frowning. The boy looked too frail, barely capable of heavy labor. Just as I opened my mouth to refuse, one of my crew cut in. Boss Ethan. This kid's fresh off the boat. I bought him special for you this trip. Suddenly it clicked. This following wasn't about joining my crew. He meant becoming my companion. But hell, I don't swing that way. Crossing my legs, I hooked a finger under his chin, studying him coldly. Pretty face, but I'm not some dried up old prune like Jacob needing stress relief. The mention of Jacob froze the room. Nervous laughter broke the tension before the whole crew erupted in forced chuckles. I grabbed a whiskey bottle, tracing its neck down his torso. Any skills? What did they teach you? The young waiter bit his lip. I can. A commotion erupted next door. A procession of heavy hitters emerged, their leader pausing at our doorway. Black-gloved fingers tilted a fedora brim, that weighted glance slicing through the haze. When the crew spotted that profile, all chatter died. Someone hissed. Ethan, Jacob. I turned instinctively, catching only the retreating back of a broad-shouldered man in bespoke tailoring that teased my memory. Jacob, crime lord royalty. What did I have in common with that? Refocusing on the trembling kid, I leaned down from the leather couch, dripping red wine across his cheek with a blood money bill. I sneered. No regrets? His collarbones glistened as he shivered. Ethan. Bored halfway through the game, I slapped the soaked bill against his throat. Once you're mine. No going back. Take the cash and scram. The wide-eyed kid scrambled away clutching his prize. I snorted, sipping bourbon. Years back, my own boss had shoved cash at me saying get lost. Dumbass that I was. I keyed his Cadillac instead. He'd stormed out cursing goddamn idiot. Until I knelt asking, don't you remember me? His reply? Don't care if you're Jesus Christ himself, pay up. That's how I became Ethan's right-hand man. Now they call me Boss Ethan. The whiskey haze hit as I slumped into my town car. Without checking the license plate, I swung my leg over and hopped on. Next thing I knew, I woke up blindfolded in a basement, leaning back with my legs casually spread. I taunted. Aren't we going to chat first? The emotionless voice countered. Aren't you going to guess? Ethan? Like hell I could guess. Working for the boss meant enemies spanning from here to Paris. Who's got time for guessing games? I kept my mouth shut lest talking meant fewer mistakes. When Jacob didn't get his answer, he shifted tactics. You raided my vault. His words slithered through the darkness. Did you really think there'd be no consequences? Every muscle tensed. My legs snapping together instinctively. Jacob Miller. My mind raced. Since when did the head of the Miller family handle interrogations personally? He's got armies of psychopaths for this dirty work, unless he wants intel on my boss. Torture intel. The man's unpredictability was legendary, a loose cannon who followed neither rules nor reason. I'd meant to skim some cash. But who knew the bastard tracked me down this fast? Underworld rules, finders keepers. I bluffed. Voice steadier than I felt. Besides, you can't exactly claim clean hands with those assets. Silence. Then cold fingers hooked my waistband. The sudden rush of air against bare skin made me hiss. Jacob. You son of. Look. I wouldn't mind crossing swords with the infamous Miller heir under different circumstances, just not hogtied in some dungeon. Fight fair. You coward. Stillness. The distorted voice behind me carried clinical detachment. Antiseptic infresia flooded my nostrils as steel kissed my thigh. My brain short-circuited when the blade slid sideways instead of biting flesh. Fucking hell, he's shaving me? Bound hands twisted uselessly against restraints as humiliation burned hotter than any blade. All I had left was bravado. Screw this up. Jacob. An aisle. Wider. The voice modulator crackled. My hands aren't as steady these days. Steady my ass. This was psychological warfare 101. Normal people feel shame, psychopaths weaponize it. Minutes stretched into eternity under that buzzing razor. Every nerve screaming at the violation. The Miller bastard stayed ruthlessly efficient. Proving yet again monsters win when they ditch humanity. I heard an almost imperceptible snicker in the darkness. It vanished before I could pinpoint its source. The metallic clang of a blade being placed on the table echoed through the room. There we go. Honey. Payment collected. I couldn't recall how I'd made it back home. Stumbling into the bathroom. My legs nearly buckled beneath me. Should have never messed with Jacob's secret funds. That money wasn't just hot to handle, it cost me both the money and my dignity. I immediately wired the amount back to Jacob, desperate to sever ties with that hair-shearing maniac. The cold shower stream pounded my scalp. I tried not to think about the freshly bare patches. But my fingers kept checking anyway. Surprisingly neat work. If this was Jacob's idea of humiliating enemies, was hair removal his signature move? Some twisted tradition of the Miller family? Or just his personal fetish for punishing disloyalty? Wait, had Liam endured this too? How could anyone tolerate such humiliation? Shaking off the disturbing thoughts, I wrapped myself in a towel. My phone showed multiple notifications from Liam. The last message read, "Why aren't you responding? Mission went sideways." I typed half-heartedly. Got what I deserved, turned into a plucked chicken. Across town. Well-manicured fingers paused over a glowing screen. Plucked chicken? Came the amused reply. The message reignited my humiliation. No way could Liam know his boss had done the plucking. My reputation would be ruined. As I squeezed my eyes shut, another notification arrived. Total loss? At least 10 million. I replied through gritted teeth. The response came instantly, 15 million wired. My banking app confirmed the transfer, freshly deposited from Liam. Holy shit. Since when did working for Jacob pay this well? No wonder I'd never poached Liam before. These were blood money level salaries. I deleted my drafted you hiring message and instead sent, heard anything about your boss being gay? The read receipt glowed without response. Stupid question. Jacob's sexuality? Please. Our own boss had that pretty boy look too, but swung straighter than steel beams. I might give off gay vibes, but my interests ran strictly female. My choice in bosses proved that. The door creaked open as my subordinate entered. Ethan. Still hitting the bars tonight? The sudden breeze felt refreshingly cool against my skin. I yanked the blanket over my head. Not going. Early bedtime. In an underground warehouse elsewhere. Jacob set down sterilized barber tools and picked up his phone. His lips curled into a smirk as he stared at the message. Heard your boss is gay? After prolonged deliberation, he typed a reply. Haven't heard. 7 wasted days later. I woke to my boss's call ordering immediate evacuation. Some mafia guy he'd crossed years ago was back for blood. My energy instantly revived at the prospect of a fight. You never fucking listen. My boss nearly choked seeing me reappear. Old news, boss. I chopped his neck, signaling minions to haul him away. Bullets tore through the air. A shot shattered my wrist bone, blood soaking through makeshift bandages. Ethan, we're getting overrun, a minion yelled. Fall back with the boss. I smacked his head. Retreat? The hell for? Hold the line. Ethan's got this. Gunpowder haze parted as a car plowed through both factions. The driver emerged, long legs striding through crossfire. Jacob materialized like death incarnate. You suicidal idiot. He barked. Fuck you. I value my life more than anyone. I spat blood. But some things are worth, boss. His panting underlings finally caught up. Recognition struck. This psychopath wasn't Liam, but Jacob himself. My throat tightened with bitter irony. Listen here. You baldness-inducing motherfucker, I launched into creative expletives involving his ancestors. Jacob's eye twitched. Later, I dreamed of my broke self cutting off the boss's car. As the boss erupted, a sunglasses-clad Jacob emerged, kicking him aside. Can't handle road rage? Let me demonstrate. I jolted awake, only to find the nightmare made flesh. Against the man dubbed Miller family's lunatic, I instinctively reverted to old defenses. Jacob. I forced through gritted teeth. We're even now. Don't push it. Jacob stared intently at me. Even now? Think harder. Do you really owe me so little? I froze. What exactly do I owe you? Didn't I repay your secret stash? You're the one who. Jacob pressed his lips together, crushing me against his chest. His pectoral muscles dug into my cheek painfully. You destroyed my money tree and thought that'd be the end of it? Money tree? You're still hung up on that? I rolled my eyes. What do you want then? What did I water my prosperity plant with? Water, I answered reflexively. Jacob nodded. Exactly. Water. Suddenly realizing what kind of water he meant. I flushed crimson. I tried to knee his family jewels. But he dodged effortlessly. You psychotic bastard. Let me go home. My boss will make you pay for this. Jacob remained unnervingly calm, adopting that infuriating daddy persona. You may leave. My heart leaped. Had he grown a conscience? Before I could ask really? His lips brushed my ear in devilish whisper. Of course. You'll run. I'll chase. Every single time. What kind of dominance play is this? It's like those cringe lines that get the speaker excited and give viewers a thrill. But does anyone care about the trauma here? Get your damn hands off me. I scrambled backward across the bed. He pinned me instantly. Careful, princess. That collarbone's freshly set. Keep struggling and we'll graduate from bloodstains to broken bones. I felt violated. Me, the legendary enforcer who once ruled these streets, now reduced to this rich boy's plaything. The bastard proved his insanity that very night, dripping scented wax across my torso while deadpanning. Date me. Don't you mobsters have actual crimes to commit? I spat. Forced romance? Really? Jacob tilted his head, genuinely perplexed. Is there a problem? Yeah. Sure. No problem at all. I stared at the ceiling in resignation. But could you at least put the writing crop away first? Eventually I cracked. Fine. We'll date. He devoured me that same evening. Next morning, with spectacularly bad timing, my useless boss finally came barging in. Where's Ethan? Jacob slid over a cash stack. Mine now. My boss sneered. You think money solves everything? Of course. Jacob's tone brooked no argument. Once used, possessions stay with their owner. Correct? Jacob Miller looked up at me, who had just recovered from a serious illness and gotten up to drink tea. That single sentence alone nearly made me spit out my tea and finish me off for good. Before I could speak, Jacob rose to his feet, wiping his hands with deliberate slowness. He pinned me against the wall. It's getting late. Make yourself at home. The boss's eyes widened comically, pupils trembling through stages of silent confusion, struggling resistance, then sudden enlightenment. So this is how you use a junior associate? I internally coughed blood twice over. Damn you. You closet case. Stop corrupting my boss. When Jacob hauled me back to the room, I spotted a man making the bed. His face screamed minimum wage drudgery, radiating resentment that mirrored my current expression. Assuming him to be another victim of Jacob's forced acquisitions, I distractedly fended off the human-sized beagle clone while asking, "You are?" The man paused. "Liam Carter." "Ah, right." I flashed a lethal smile. The one who stole my target. After leaving the room, Liam grew even quieter. Noticing this, the junior associate approached. "What's wrong, Liam? You look awful." Liam lifted his gaze to the moonlight, eyes glistening, convinced this was Ethan's revenge. He mourned never seeing such beautiful moonlight again. "I don't know the details," he whispered, "but when the boss's wife moaned my name under him earlier, I'll be dead by dawn. Might as well dig my own grave now."